Okay, let's have some follow-up, if I may, on this Trump shithole story, which we are now saying because everybody's allowed to say it now that Trump said it.
How long can we say it for, though?
Years. Oh
Is
yeah,
that how it works?
I'm planning on, even if it's not in the context of this story, now I'm going to be saying the word for a very, very long time. So the backstory is Dick Durbin, Democratic senator, was in the room with Donald Trump, along with many other senators, when Donald Trump reportedly said that we don't want people coming to the U.S., immigrating to the U.S. from shithole countries. Instead, we want people coming to the U.S. from countries like Norway. Dick Durbin was one of the voices that said this is what Trump said in the room. Lindsey Graham hasn't commented, but he is quoted as during the meeting using the word in quoting Trump to say, I think that you're wrong about what you're saying about these shithole countries. However, Donald Trump pointed to, as I told you yesterday, a couple of Republican senators who said, we don't agree with Dick Durbin's story. Trump didn't say it. Trump just did not say shithole, or he said shit house, right? Those were the defenses from these two senators. Then, and I played this clip for you yesterday, Donald Trump referenced those two senators as proof he didn't do it. Take a listen.
Security at the border. We have people pouring in. They don't want security at the border. They don't want to stop drugs. And they want to take money away from our military, which we cannot do. So those are some of the
Can you think your comments the other day made it harder?
Did you see what various senators in the room said about my comments? They were amazed.
Right.
No, I'm not a racist. I am the least racist person you have ever interviewed. That I can tell you.
Yeah. So anyway, the senators Trump was referring to, did you see what those other senators in the room said? Those were senators, Republican senators, Tom Cotton and David Perdue. They were the ones saying Trump didn't say it, or he said shit house, not shit hole. They have now been outed as straight up lying. They didn't know what Trump said. Their story was, we don't remember what Trump said. We didn't hear what Trump said. We don't know what Trump said. And later, Cotton and Perdue came out and said, oh, Trump said shithouse countries, not shithole countries. This is sort of what you call a lie by omission, right? If the truth is that they didn't hear Trump say shithole because he said shithouse, you need to volunteer that up front. And remember, up front, what they said is, we didn't hear anything. We don't know what was said. And only later did they come out and say, oh, no, what he said was shit house. So we were right when we said he didn't say shithole. We just initially forgot to mention that we actually knew exactly what he said. And it was this other word, which is different, but without any real distinction in terms of its meaning. That's like, did you kill this woman yesterday? And you say, no, I didn't, because it happened at 12:01 a.m., right? If you're trying to get out of a murder charge, you make the prosecution prove its case. If you're just trying to be an honorable and honest elected official, you don't just say, I didn't hear shithole, and then leave it at that. If you heard shithouse, you immediately say, it wasn't shithole, it was shithouse. And they didn't do that. Their initial story was, we don't know what he said.
And they really didn't have to get caught in the lie for us to know that it was a lie,
course.
because they were saying, I don't recall, or I didn't hear the president say that. I mean, anyone who understands that legalese knows what they're getting at.
It's possible that they literally didn't hear it because there were 5 conversations going on at once, right? Like, it's remotely possible. But yes, it was weird from the beginning. So headline 1 is Cotton and Perdue lied, and then Trump used those lies to smear Dick Durbin as a liar. But the bigger picture thing that people aren't talking about is that defending Trump by saying, oh, he said shithouse and not shithole, it's not a great defense, because basically it's the same thing, right? Like, for all we know, Trump is so stupid he was trying to say shithole, but he didn't even know that that's what you're supposed to say, and he said shithouse instead. But that's not really a defense. Like, the big exculpation of Trump is it wasn't shithole, it was shithouse. That doesn't really make any sense, right?
I was going to explain the distinction between the two things, but then I decided just better off not to.
Honestly, though, is there one? Like, it's the same message, right? Which is, he doesn't want people coming from countries that he doesn't consider to be countries we want people coming from, like Norway. Norway is the example of a good country, but he doesn't want people from shithole or shithouse countries. Okay. The takeaway is the country is being run by little kids, effectively. And I don't even get why they're trying to pretend anymore. If we're only debating over shithouse versus shithole, what is there even to debate, right? We know Trump is a liar. We know that his immediate staffers are liars. The only real question now is why are these other Republicans lying for Trump? Like, why is it that Tom Cotton and David Perdue said we are going to create a pretext that Trump can point to defend himself from comments that are truly disgusting and vile? It's their character now that is impugnable because of these lies.
Well, I think when it comes to Tom Cotton, he has his eyes set on becoming part of the administration.
Oh, yeah.
Remember there was that double switch about Rex Tillerson leaving as the Secretary of State, and then they would put Mike Pompeo in
As Secretary
of State, and so that would create an opening at CIA director,
Right.
and maybe Tom Cotton could take over there. So he has to suck up to Trump if he wants that position.
That is a really cynical and probably accurate assessment of what might be going on. Which Republicans at this point aren't lying for Trump? If we started a list, I mean, I guess James Comey got fired because he wasn't willing to lie for Trump.
Well,
He's a Republican.
Lindsey Graham fact-checked him in real time.
That's right. Lindsey Graham did a fact check. Robert Mueller is another Republican who so far isn't lying for Trump. On CNN, Anna Navarro is a Republican strategist. I've not heard her lying for Trump. Joe Scarborough has been a Republican, and he hasn't been lying for Trump, although he quit being a Republican, I believe. He went to be an independent now. There is a list of Republicans not willing to lie for Trump, but it's pretty small. If you glean nothing from this other than these people lied, what I want you to take away from it is vote them out. We can get rid of these people. The election is under 10 months away. I'm on Twitter at DPakman. Show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. Today's episode of The David Pakman Show, I am pleased to tell you, is made possible in part by Brilliant, which is a fantastic and unique online service that has sort of reinvented the way people learn math and science. If you watch The David Pakman Show, like me, you're probably someone who's curious about how the world works. You like to learn new things. Maybe you have a casual interest in things like physics or solar energy, AI, philosophy, computer science, but you want to take it to the next level. Whether you already have a grasp on any of these subjects or you're looking for a fun and engaging way to become acquainted with these topics for the first time, Brilliant really is the place to go, where you can actually learn hands-on by solving problems and puzzles that were designed by expert educators and professionals. You can get started right now by signing up for free at brilliant.org/David Pakman. The first 200 people who visit brilliant.org/David Pakman will get 20% off an annual premium membership. One more time, that's brilliant.org/David Pakman.